can!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle. So a good performance.
Hi, you're watching Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. On the show today, Chennai is knocked out of the Indian Premier League. They're languishing at number 10 on the points table. They've not made it to the playoffs in 2 back-to-back seasons. That's never happened. And they've lost 6 matches out of the 8 that they've played so far. And MS Dhoni is jesting that he's not even sure if he'll play the next game. Where has the franchise lost the plot? And is the blessing that is MS Dhoni proving to be an unsolvable conundrum for Chennai? Meanwhile, Lamine Yamal stars in Barcelona's draw over Inter Milan, keeping Barca alive in the Champions League, and is hailed as a generational superstar, with parallels being drawn to legendary Lionel Messi. We tell you if this comparison is fair at all, and how is Yamal handling all the pressure at just 17? And is an iconic moment on the football field all a farce? That Mo Salah selfie with fans that has burst through the internet and set everything on fire could just be a commercial gimmick. What's the actual story behind it? Stay on for more, but first, the headlines on Sports 360. Starting with football, 2 legends of the game, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, had a tough day on the field. Ronaldo's Al Nassr were knocked out of the AFC Champions League after the club lost 2-3 to Kawasaki Frontale in the semi-final. On the other hand, Messi's Inter Miami 2 missed a shot at silverware after his side lost to Vancouver 1-3 in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Miami were knocked out after losing 1-5 on aggregate in the semi-final. Meanwhile, in women's football, Chelsea were crowned Super League champions for the 6th consecutive time. The London-based club beat Manchester United 1-0 in the final. Lucy Bronze scored the decisive goal to take her side to their 9th Women's Super League title. Tennis world number 2 Iga Swiatek has entered the Madrid Open semi-final. Despite losing the first set, the Pole beat Madison Keys Love 6, 6-3, 6-2. In another game, Coco Gauff had a rather easy quarterfinal as the American won the fixture with a straight set win over Mira Andreeva. Gauff and Swiatek will compete for a place in the final. In American football, National Football League or the NFL has fined Atlanta Falcons and their assistant coach Jeff Ulbrich over a prank call. Ulbrich's son called Cleveland Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders and pretended to be New Orleans Saints general manager and said the club would pick him in the draft. Falcons were penalized $250,000 and Ulbrich was fined $100,000. And summing it up with news from NBA, Los Angeles Lakers have been knocked out of the playoffs in round 1 despite LeBron James' 22 points and Luka Doncic's 28. The side lost to Minnesota Timberwolves 96-103. With the win, Timberwolves clinched the series 4-1 and have moved to the next round. When heroes fall from their pedestal, the sight is so blinding you could be faulted for getting mesmerized by it. After all, it is a rare occurrence and one you least expect. The Chennai franchise broke plenty of records this season. Ones no one watching the Indian Premier League all this while would have imagined they would. The most successful franchise in the league, the one team that has only had one captain from the start to this point. They did try to look beyond MS Dhoni briefly with Ravindra Jadeja. That experiment did not work out just like they'd wanted to. Ruturaj Gaikwad was touted as the cub who'd lead them to the future and to more laurels, with MSD still watching over him, but this season just hasn't taken off at all. But before we get to what really ails Chennai, let's pause to show you how disappointed and dejected the loyal fans have been through what has clearly been the worst year for this franchise steeped in glory. And can you really blame them? Chennai has taken one misstep after another, and every attempt at rewriting the previous era has resulted in a loss just that much more disheartening. It's a situation Chennai has never found itself in. And look at what's happened this year. They've lost 5 games on the trot in Chepauk. That's happened for the very first time. A lot of firsts, infamous firsts for them. Most defeats in Chennai in a single season. The first time that they missed playoffs in consecutive years, back to back. Lowest power play run rate in a season and lowest catching efficiency in a season. This doesn't look like the outfit that's won 5 IPL crowns. Now, it's been a season of horrors, yes. And you don't need to look further than these infamous records to accept that truly now. So what went wrong? Let's look at what's clear as day. The auction is where it all really began for this particular squad. While a few picks have paid off, safe to say most haven't. Suresh Raina, the man who's been by MSD's side for many years at this franchise in the past, through the heydays, put his foot down to say this was not the kind of squad Dhoni would have picked. And having said that, it just didn't work.
I think from the coach and the management, the auction has not gone well this year. MS might get a call about whether to go ahead with a player or not, but he's not that involved. Dhoni can't have this type of auction.
Well, that's what he said while speaking to the broadcaster, but it's not just Suresh Raina. Many experts questioned Chennai's selections and the fact that they just couldn't nail their playing 11 or their batting lineup even for most part of the initial stages. A lot of various views coming in there. But look, it happens with every team. It's difficult to get that perfect combination that offers the right balance and works both home and away conditions. But Chennai just couldn't get it right in time. And then your captain getting injured, that just had to be the lowest point because you did not just lose your skipper but also one of the best batters this season. There were many other factors that contributed to Chennai's losing streak this year that just couldn't be arrested. A bowling unit that was largely reliant on Noor, Matisha Patirana nowhere close to the threatening debutant that we had witnessed, woeful in the field with too many missed chances, no batting, firepower really, and abysmal in the power plays. There's a lot that did not go Chennai's way, but let's step back and try to take a look at the bigger picture here. Is Chennai struggling to transition and look beyond MS Dhoni? He has to take charge completely or it is a no-go zone. And if that's a valid argument that I'm making, then who will you have to blame for such a scenario to have taken place? Is it the management who just cannot think ahead of him? Or did Dhoni and the management collectively not sit and plan for the next phase in terms of leadership and a core group? You see, it may be franchise cricket, but it's not too different from any national sporting setup. There comes a time when every team, every unit has to think of the next chapter, the next phase. Mumbai were heavily criticized and Hardik Pandya massively trolled when they decided to make him captain and get Rohit Sharma to take a step back. While yes, that handover could surely have gone smoother and been executed better, they have now reached a point where it's all clicking and they are able to see the next few years. Sure, the absence of Rohit Sharma, the opener, will be felt. That's something they will have to plan for. But they decided to take that step without being swept away in the emotion of it all. Yes, Chennai heart beats for MSD. He's an emotion, an expression that will never die down completely. But a franchise needs to look at their legacy and the future. Did the Chennai think tank fail here? In planning for a core group for its next phase, for life and times after MSD? Because you have to realize that leadership is cyclical. It happens everywhere in every setup. After one particular phase comes to a close, another one has to take over. You can also sense the exhaustion in the man at the helm and in the center of it all himself. If the post-match interviews are not telling you enough of how frustrated he already is, then it's the toss time chats that have been a stark differentiator this year. Just a few years ago, at one toss, MSD uttered the most iconic phrase, "Will this be your last season?" And he said, "Definitely not." They went on to win 2 IPL titles after that. Last game, Danny Morrison does the theatrics, lets the roars of the Chepauk fans go on full tilt before asking the dreaded question, does that mean you will come back for yet another season? And the answer is rather quick, I don't know if I'll be back for even the next game. MSD hates to lose, and anyone would quite obviously, but him particularly so. And this is a kind of situation he wouldn't have dreamed to be a part of, languishing in the 10th place at an IPL, a place that he's owned. But knowing MSD, he doesn't like anything more than proving everyone wrong. So while Chennai, coming back stronger next year with a young 44-year-old, cannot be ruled out, yes, here we go again, the franchise has to ask itself, can they afford to live off nostalgia and the fanfare that comes with MSD? Or should they shake it up and take a chance, see how the dice rolls? Because that's only when they can get off square one. Else the unsettling feeling that's being spoken about that has underscored Chennai's performances this year and a bit of last season will only continue to linger. The temperature in Barcelona was a pleasant 19 degrees last night, a city known for lovely, bearable weather almost through the year, but the residents still experienced the hottest day of this summer because breathing fire on the football pitch and wooing the Catalonia audience was a 17-year-old sensation from Spain's Mataró, Lamine Yamal. The youngster once again stepped up on the big stage and helped Barcelona draw with Inter Milan in the UEFA Champions League semi-final leg 1, leading to parallels being drawn between him and the great Lionel Messi. Now that is some very big shoes to fill. Being compared to Messi is sure to give anyone sleepless nights. Will the youngster succumb to the pressure? Because this isn't the first time Yamal has been compared to football ace Lionel Messi. The Champions League semi-final goal was just another reminder to the football world that the Spanish forward steps up when it really matters the most. He did that for Spain in the big semi-final against France at the Euros last year, and he's done it time and again for Barcelona through this season. In fact, he is the reason that Barcelona is in contention for a historic treble. In 49 matches across tournaments this season, Yamal has scored 15 goals, but what's more important is that he has assisted 24 times. So when he isn't hunting for goals himself, he is still contributing to the team's success through his brilliant plays, dodging the defenders, dribbling past challengers and flooring them. Ever since he was promoted to Barcelona's senior setup last season, since then, he has been the heart of Barcelona's front line. Sure, they fell short when they finished second in the 2023-24 season, but this year Yamal is showing us why. Maybe all those comparisons are true. Why he belongs at the top and is a once-in-a-generation talent.
Yamal created a lot of problems for us. He's clearly a talent that is only born every 50 years. I had honestly never seen talent like that, but I saw it tonight for the first time. He created lots of problems. We tried to double and even triple mark him, but then we were missing players on other parts of the pitch.
That's huge praise for a teenager coming from an opposition coach who just missed an opportunity to take the lead in the all-important semi-final. But such has been the influence of Yamal in the modern workings of the sport. He has left opposition speechless, shut down critics, and has left his fans in awe. Comparisons to arguably one of the biggest stars in the football world is definitely never going to help. Comparisons do not work as is, and this one more so. But Yamal surely looks like he isn't getting carried away with all this high talk. He's handling it better than some of the most established players going around.
I don't think the comparison makes sense. With Messi, even less. Because I don't compare myself to anyone. I'm going to enjoy myself and be myself.
Just enjoy the game. That's some good advice to the self, but maybe for a while it will do him good to not look at history or numbers, because at the age of 17, he is much more than what Messi and Ronaldo were back when they were teenagers, when they were 17. Yamal started early, so clearly that's worked in his favor, playing much more matches, many more matches than both Ronaldo and Messi, which is why he has 22 goals as compared to Ronaldo and Messi's 5 and 1 respectively, and that's heavily skewed. Assisted 33 times compared to 4 and 0. That is Ronaldo and Messi's numbers. Look, comparisons never tell you the complete picture, and this one is an unfair one to make, surely, because clearly these are different times we live in. When a 14-year-old can strike the second fastest 100 in an international cricket league. So yes, we do live in very dramatical different times. But this comparison just paints us a picture of the possibility of what really could be. And that's what we need to reflect on. At 17, Yamal is a starter at one of the biggest clubs in the world, which is why his statement that he doesn't believe in comparison stands absolutely true. And the reason why Yamal has come this far this soon is because he's kept his focus on football alone. And at all times, no matter the situation, no matter the pressure. Even when his father was hospitalized after being stabbed, the sport came first. He, of course, addressed the issue, acknowledged and accepted the pain, and fueled that anger towards football. He's not just fighting defenders on the pitch, but also escaping those mental battles with ease. And then, of course, there's his connection with Barcelona. Following the Copa del Rey final win, he won Barcelona fans over when he skipped the celebrations to dance to Barcelona's iconic chant, "You a Madrista if you don't dance." He's a complete package. It's not just about the footballing skills, but it's also about keeping that intense rivalry with Real Madrid going, all at the age of 17. Quite astonishing, because in sport, it is quite easy to get carried away when fame comes to your doorstep too soon. The idea of the whole footballing world adoring you is, yes, both endearing and threatening. When they celebrate your highs, they will be the first to target you in your lows too. So something Real Madrid star Kylian Mbappe as well can attest to. But clearly Yamal is showing why he is stitched from a different cloth. Reason why a talent like him comes once in 50 years. Liverpool and their fans are still basking in their Premier League triumph. The celebrations at Anfield after Liverpool beat Tottenham 5-1 is still echoing all through England, and it is moments from their emotional victory that has become a huge talking point, like this one. The selfie that Mohamed Salah took after he scored the goal with fans. Now, a picture that was expected to break all records in the football world, and while the moment has become part of history books, yes, it might turn out to be a commercial gimmick for the phone company. At least that's what the popular belief is. Our next report will tell you more.
Warning signs for the faint-hearted, because the visuals coming up might scar you for life. Well, not if you're a Liverpool fan. Mohamed Salah's say cheese moment during Tottenham's 5-1 win was splashed across the internet. Because this is a picture that will go down in the history books as one of the best footballing moments. The Premier League's highest foreign goal scorer celebrating Liverpool's 20th title with the die-hard Red Army. Because such moments just don't fade away. Like Messi's infamous shirt celebration of 2017 at Santiago Bernabeu. For years, it will be remembered as the 500th goal for Barcelona. but more importantly, the last-minute goal that took Barcelona to a 3-2 win in an El Clasico. Or the moment from 2012 which sparked Manchester City's dominance. A goal that ended Manchester United's reign and signalled the rise of Manchester City in the English Premier League. The raw emotions that come in the most nervous situations that make the sport what it is, which is why the Salah selfie will always denote a massive pain for Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United and Manchester City fans, to name a few. But also Liverpool's crowning moment, a celebration for the ages after 35 years with the fans. But what if I told you that the picture isn't just a wholesome moment in the history of the club, but also a commercial gambit from the English champions? Because the phone handed to Salah wasn't given by a fan, but a Liverpool employee. And the device also happens to be a Liverpool sponsor. A great move, or did Liverpool cross the line here? Fans seem to be divided over this. Sure, the debate will rage on, especially with the commercial angle coming into it. Liverpool, though, say it wasn't planned, it just happened in the moment. But whatever the reason, these things are actually helping Liverpool financially. Liverpool saw a gain in commercial income by $48 million in the 2024-25 cycle. The club earned around $410 million from partnerships and other deals. Meanwhile, the post of the selfie has over 1.8 million likes on Instagram and has been viewed close to 15 million times on X. If that isn't a good advertisement, then what is? It's a good time if you're a Liverpool fan. A Premier League title, a historic selfie, the Egyptian star staying on, and not only contributing with goals and silverware, but also boosting the club's economy. If there was a star for the best employee, it would probably have to be pinned on Mohamed Salah.
Time for last serve. Libyan club Al Swali scripted history after they won their maiden African Club Volleyball Championship, and fans celebrated the historic moment. Take a look. A moment that won't be forgotten for years to come. But that wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll of course join you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care. Bye-bye.